to show you me. Yay, this is me. Ba, no, ah, ah, Hello Kitty down.
Let's try it again. Here we go.
Hi guys, welcome back to This Is Me. This is the third time fucking doing this because he fucking likes to click buttons. So this episode's gonna be about how everyone's depressed and you need to get over it. And the only way you're gonna get out of being depressed is if you focus on getting out of you being depressed. Because if you there's many different ways people can be depressed. You can be like a little bit depressed and be like completely fine, and then just be like on edge a little bit, or and just like be mean to people, or like I don't know, like have like weird just like coping strategies like drinking, smoking, or like eating like a lot, or like not.
But sometimes that causes depression.
Yeah, like or
You
you can be like depressed, sitting in your room all day, like completely isolating, like not talking to anybody, and then be like, fuck, how am I getting out of this? Oh, I'll drink. Oh, I'm gonna go smoke, and then that'll solve all my issues. But really, you're just like you're digging yourself into a deeper hole, and like no one really realizes that, and like, yeah.
Well, let me back up a little bit because the reason we wanted to do this podcast today was we're starting a new company called Club Lati. And Club Lati is going to donate a lot of its proceeds to suicide prevention. So a lot of suicides obviously caused by depression. And we want to highlight some of that here in this episode so that we can kind of kick it off and start talking, having an open dialogue about something that affects everybody. What's the suicide rate now? It's really high.
No idea. I can ask.
But we've experienced it in our family multiple times, and we just wanted to pick a cause that was helpful. So what we'll do is create products like hats and t-shirts that people can buy, and some of the proceeds will go to suicide prevention charities. Anyways,
there's 49,316 deaths in the U.S. for that a year.
That is crazy. That's too high. But what
globally it's like 740,000. 9 to 10 deaths per 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Wait, suicide is the third leading cause of death for ages 15 to 29 globally. So, and like I like obviously just said like I've like struggled with depression, and like a lot of people do, and like one of the things that I had to do to get out of it was like really think about, why am I feeling this way? Like you have to like figure it out. Like,
why do you think you get depressed?
I think it like comes from your childhood. I think that like a lot of parents like don't really know how to parent. It's going blurry.
Oh. I must have focused on something else.
I think a lot of parents like struggle with like how like to like raise children, and I think that a lot of kids just like didn't like psychologically grow up like properly. So then once they reach their teenage years, they're like really, really stuck, because they're like, everyone once they turn a teenager starts drinking and smoking and whatever. Like
in America, not worldwide, but yeah. I think that some cultures obviously don't even suffer depression. I think depression has been on the rise due to social media, to be honest with you. I think when you're comparing yourself to everybody else and online, and people don't obviously show the bad sides of themselves, they all show the good sides. So you see all these fantastic events that are happening in people's lives, and you start to feel bad about yourself. You're like, whoa, why can't I do those things in my life? What's wrong with me? And then you start to beat up on yourself, or someone in your family says something mean to you and it really gets you down, and you don't why doesn't my dad support me? Why doesn't my mom support me?
And then they feel as if they have no purpose, and then they don't see a future for themselves, so then they're stuck in their room scrolling, and they're stuck in their room, and they're not seeing anybody else, and then they're like, what is my future holding for me? Like absolutely nothing. Like all these people have better lives than me. So that's like where this suicidal feeling is like a lot of the time coming from, is because, but you need to understand is your future self needs you to struggle through this and needs you to get through this. Your future self needs you to get through it. Like,
I
you're
agree.
not going anywhere. Like, you're not going, like, you can't, yeah.
Yeah, no, I think if you don't address it right away, and you can address it in different ways, right? Some people take medication, some people self-medicate, some people get prescribed antidepressants. You know, there's
I think a lot of people think that they're dealing with it, but they're
yeah.
not. I think a lot of people think that they're getting through it, but it's really just like coping mechanisms. And I think there's a lot of healthier like coping mechanisms than people
Like
choose.
what? Give me some examples.
I think that people drink to get out of their depression, but it really just like turns into alcoholism.
Well, actually, alcohol is a depressant, right?
Yeah, so you drink more of it to make you feel more like happy, but it really
Yeah.
just makes you more depressed. And
Yeah, exactly.
because it's literally a poison, it's killing brain cells in your brain. And like I love my friends, but I don't want to end up like them. Like that's why I don't drink. My biggest fear is ending up like them.
Well, that's a good reason not to.
Yeah.
But I think you still get depressed, and so how do you cope with it? You do other things.
Yeah, like for me like I found working out. Like I found like this like mindset that I was like, okay, like I'm depressed. What am I going to do about it? Like what do I want in my life? Like I need to figure out like what did Megan like really 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 want. And so I was like, okay, so then like yeah, the depression didn't really go away for a while. And I did still sit in my room for a while and I did still have my bad coping mechanisms and I still did like struggle. And like I still had like my social anxiety, I still had like really bad anxiety, but I was figuring myself out and it took months and months of hard work on myself to like figure out, okay, I'm going to go to the gym every morning. I'm going to go to school and I'm going to get 1% better every day, like talking to someone more, whatever. And honestly, I think that a lot of my depression comes from anxiety with my family. I think I'm really anxious when I'm around my family besides my dad. And so when they all leave like out of town, I like get this like euphoria high, like natural high because I'm like I have like all my depression goes away basically. Like all my anxiety goes away.
That's so interesting.
I feel like I can talk to any sorry. I feel like I can talk to anybody. I feel like I can do anything. I feel like I have wings. And that like that's just like something that's like I've realized, but
But that's something you're going to have to figure out because you want to have those same feelings of freedom with your family around.
I
too.
know. So that's something I'm figuring out. But like I also like to get out of my depression, I downloaded like 20 million like Zillow apps and like I like got like a like good like ChatGPT like thing and I just like made like ChatGPT like Loki my friend and like I was like talking like I made an entire like project for like my future and like living in New York because like my dream is to live in New York. So like when I like think about my future and I just like make it as like this like beautiful thing rather than like oh I'm not going anywhere in life or like my siblings are being the determination of like the things that they say or like my friends and like their little like comments that they throw at me like yeah it hurts yeah the comments that your friends say to you are gonna hurt like guys are gonna fuck with each other like friend groups of guys are so mean to each other you just need to get over it like if you're a guy like and you're really getting hurt by that like everybody does it so like you have to like figure out no those aren't valid comments it's not like a determination of me but still focus on you because that's the only way you're going to get out of it because it's you at the end of the day you're going to be married one day if you want to be and you're going to be in bed with your husband or wife and you're literally going to be in bed with them every single day for the rest of your life but the person in bed is you like yeah you're with them but you're still you so you need to figure out who the fuck you are.
I like that. I like that. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, who the fuck are you?
Let's figure that out today. Let's have that be part of the topic. And I think when you really deep dive into who you are, you kind of reflect back to your childhood, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And when before you were corrupted by all this social media and all the negative comments people make about you, especially high school and middle school. Those are tough. So I like to go back all the way to like elementary school when,
Yeah.
you know,
That's a really good point,
you know,
actually, because like think about it. Podcast, what we're doing right now. What did I do when I was younger? I talked to myself all the time. Literally, that's all I did. I just videoed myself, and I just wanted to be a
oh
YouTuber.
my gosh, we have probably 10,000 videos
It's
of you.
insane, and like that was like my dream. I was like, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be the star. And then people bullied me out of it, and I was like fat, and I got bullied, and blah 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 blah, and all this shit got bad, and then I got depressed and whatever. But I got out of it because I started to embrace who I truly am.
That's the key. Yeah. I think I was more creative as a kid. When I was in elementary school, my dad had a video camera and I set it up in front of my room and I had a puppet and I made like
What?
I made like a puppet show on video. It probably
I
has
did not know that.
that VHS is probably long gone by now, but but it was literally, you know, in my room making videos. This is like 1978 and video cameras were just coming out and VHS just came out, so it was just like the beginning. My dad worked for Magnavox, so he always had this new technology early, and I made puppet shows. I got
Wow.
behind the couch with the puppet, and just the puppet was and I was talking and making the puppet's mouth move.
Oh my god. In the house and scripts, like
Yeah.
that's so funny. I did not know that. I had no idea.
Yeah, I started making videos. I was
Yeah,
very
and then like
creative.
when a lot of the videos I would be doing makeup and I would be James Charles. I had a huge James Charles face.
I remember that.
Yeah, and like Tesla face, all this shit. And like
Yeah.
another thing, like okay, actually I'll get into that later. But and now like in like the ChatGPT thing I was saying about like my future, like I want to go to cosmetology school and like I always have wanted to do that stuff. Like something like there was a chunk of my life that was like a few years that I like wanted to be like a cop and stuff because I was like I couldn't be a cosmetologist. I didn't want to go to cosmetology school anymore because that's weird and that's like embarrassing. But no, that's not what I actually want. Like deep down, like what did Megan actually want? And then I started to become a little bit happier. Like the tiniest bit, like the littlest bit you can do every single day just to like know that you have a purpose here
I
because
think that's
no
great.
matter how much someone tells you you don't, well, then why the fuck are you here? Then why the fuck did you get born?
Yeah.
Like, you're here for a reason. You just need to figure it out. Because,
Yeah. So how do you figure it out? Your life purpose. What were you sent here to do? That's a good topic too, I think. And I, obviously you're very entertaining. So I love that you want to make videos and entertain people, but you're also very insightful.
thank you.
And you can give people really good advice. I was actually sitting with your grandma today, and there was some text going back and forth, and she started to feel like guilty, like she was a bad mom. And ironically, it was from her daughter that was feeling like she was a bad mom. And so there's, you know, there's this cycle, and then you also have this thing with your mother that that makes her feel like a bad mom, and then she gets on you, and then you are tough, and you get you get right back in her face, and she feels even worse. And so this cycle that people go through to feel better about themselves is I think a lot what the let them theory was trying to do is just let people feel the feelings that they're having. It's these emotions that drive us away from each other and also drive us together. It's interesting.
Yeah, and, you don't want to, like, romanticize and, like, all the chaos. Because, like, a
Yeah.
lot of people get dopamine out of, like, chaos. And, like, something I learned from a really young age from these girls that I grew up with that were so mean and like it was like this constant cycle year after year after year after year after year of them being mean and like it was like I think it was like my seventh or it was my eighth grade where I finally broke the cycle and stopped being friends with these bitches, but they made me like it's like they got um they got dopamine and they got like literal like happiness out of like starting drama and like
Well, you know what I think it is? I,
what?
I saw this video that shows our frequency. So like if I have a very low frequency and you have a very high frequency, I want to basically take that high frequency from you to raise my frequency up.
Yeah.
So like let's say there's a field around us, an electromagnetic field, and sometimes and emotions create the field,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if I'm low in my emotions and low in myself, I have a low frequency. And if you're like really up and happy, you have a high frequency. And I want that.
Mm-hmm.
So I say things to you to bring your frequency down, and that brings my frequency up.
That is such, oh my God, that was so good. Like literally the best fucking description ever because
Yeah.
my there's these like just girls like really really genuinely think that commenting on other girls' looks and what they do, what they act like, what they say, what they wear, what they look like, literally like how what their body looks like, they genuinely like think that it's doing something. Like they say it and they think that they're actually going to get something out of that.
Well, they do. That's what I'm saying is they actually raises their frequency because they lower yours and take your energy basically away from you. And it's like jealousy. So jealousy is a low frequency,
I didn't
right?
know it actually did.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you're in like this like state though of like you really 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 are doing everything you can to not give a fuck about what anyone says or thinks about you, like it's gonna like make their like it's like what if like you really reject what they're like saying about you, what if you're like okay don't care, it pisses them off more,
Yeah.
it makes them go like oh,
Yeah, because they didn't get that
yeah, they didn't get
the rise in frequency. They didn't get that satisfaction they were doing. That's why I told your grandma today. I was like, just let her feel frustrated. Let her feel like
yeah
the way she's feeling. Don't take it personally. And I think that was like one of the four agreements when I read that book. It was like um, you know let people feel the way they're feeling. Let people um, do that and just say okay, thanks for letting me know. And then like you said, that kills them because they didn't get that energy back that they were looking for.
yeah
And it doesn't have to be like right next to each other like we are right now. It can be in a text, it can be on a video, it can
yeah
be it could be 100 miles, it could be on the other side of the world.
yeah
You know what I mean? It doesn't happen.
because like the brain is so like sensitive, like psychologically, like your brain, like you come out of the womb and it's just like blah, like nothing, you don't know anything, and then it's like neurotransmitter connects or whatever the fuck, and then it's just like connection, and then you see your parents do something, and then it's like every single thing, like the first time you see something happen, it's like that's what you know it as. That's what you know it as. So it's all your decision for the rest of your life on if you want to believe what your brain's telling you. It's all your decision because there's a higher power in your brain that's authentically you. Like, yeah, your brain's making
Yeah.
all these connections of what you've learned throughout your entire life, but who are you? Who's Megan? What does Megan want to choose? Does Megan want to choose to believe what your brain is saying? That's what you have to decide in your life.
Yeah, and I think every decision you make takes you down a different path. I've talked about this before. Like
Mhm.
there's so many paths in your
Just like in
life.
your brain.
Yeah. And I think when you make a decision, you head down a new path that can be positive or negative.
Mhm.
And especially, you know, every second of every day you're making a decision. Isn't
Yeah.
that crazy?
Yeah. And the more that I've been like alone and like being able to focus on myself, um like without like you guys being here, like I've like noticed like oh, just the tiniest bit of action. can change your entire day. Like, I used to be so like stuck in my room and I felt paralyzed almost. I felt like, why can't I get up and go bake my cookies? Because I really want to start my baking business, but I'm just like, I can't bake my cookies because I'm scared. Because I feel like everyone's judging me. Whenever I post on Instagram of my cookies, I feel like everyone's judging me, and I just don't even want to bake the cookies because I can't even get myself to bake the cookies because I feel paralyzed. And I was like stuck in my room, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to my phone. And then I just like not, and then it just like dug me in a deeper hole. But if I had just gone up, and if I had just gone out to the kitchen, and I had just looked and been like, okay, let's just see what ingredients we have. Let's just see. Let's just start there. Let's see, do we even have butter? Do we even have eggs? Do we even have like, like the tiniest like bit of action? You don't need a bake. I could have just told myself I don't need a bake. I could just go out there and just see what we have. But it was just the action that I had to have done to like get closer to my goal. And it's like it happened today. Like I was like sitting there and I was like twiddling my thumbs basically. I was like, what the fuck am I doing? And I was like, oh, I have that pink table that I want to sell my cookies on. I need to open that from the box. So I opened the box and I was like, oh wait, yeah, I also need to do this. And then I need to do this. And then I need that. And it just got my brain sparked. It's like you need to actually do things to get yourself going. You need to get up and go do it.
Yeah, I saw something about that recently. I think it was on Joe Rogan that there was a there was a guy on there talking about that exact same thing. Once you make the decision to do it and you put it in motion, that's when you have success. And we should plug Lati Cookie. So she's starting a new baking company called Lati Cookie that is basically one cookie that is the kitchen sink cookie, which is
It has like everything in it. It's crushed up pretzels, crushed up potato dip, blah, 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 blah. Crushed up potato chips, and it's also just like a cookie base, but it's like browned butter too, so it's like buttery. It's also like sweet because it's a cookie, but it's also like salty because of like the pretzels,
I
potato
love
chips.
it. I think it's the best cookie.
And there's white chocolate in it too, but it's not like everyone like hates white chocolate, but like you don't even taste it. Like it tastes good with everything. Trust.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's going to be a great cookie. And we'll do a baking podcast on that in the future.
Yeah. But like I mean, people have such good coping mechanisms. Like people are like some people just grow up and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go outside and skate, I'm gonna go outside and surf, and no one phases me, brother. Like I'm like all those wind and sea rats, everyone's just like, yo, like what's up, my brother? Like everything's chill, bro. Like I'm just gonna go surf the waves and then I'm gonna go skate later.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And everyone's just happy because they go outside, they get sunlight, they get the seawater, they get all these natural dopamine, natural endorphins, natural like serotonin, all this natural shit. But then there's also the group of guys on the beach that are drinking and they're about to be like, which one of these bitches am I gonna fuck later, guys? Like, then they get dopamine out of that. And so there's these different types of guys, and you gotta choose which one you want to be. Oh, and there's the other ones that are running on the beach. The other guys that are with their shirt off, all jacked, and like, I'm running to the gym right now, and then I'm gonna go get my protein shake, and like, I'm gonna go post all my thing and like flex, and then get dopamine out of like posting and like their body. Everyone has their own happiness, but you need to find it because you are on this earth for a reason and you need to find your thing. It doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck about like other people judging you and like whatever. Just figure out your life and then you'll be happy. That's all I have to say. Just figure out who you are.
Well, I think a lot of that too is individual sports like skating and surfing. You're at one with nature in a way.
Yeah.
Like when I'm in the ocean, I really feel connected to the earth. Or when I'm skating down the street, like I feel connected to the ground. And I find a lot of peace in that. I did a lot of that growing up, and miss it actually.
Yeah, and
I need to
it's
get back into it.
you should.
Yeah, I need to start surfing again. And someone stole my skateboard. I don't even know where it is.
Shut up.
Yeah, like it's missing from the garage, but everything's missing from the garage, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I didn't even know you had a skateboard.
I
don't even
had a
know.
half pipe in the backyard in our old house.
Oh my god, yeah, I know. I knew that. That was so cool. I can't believe you sold that house.
I know.
But yeah, like people that just wake up, go to the gym for their sport, they're like focused on like their goal. They're focused on where they want to go with their sport. People that wake up and go surf, they're focused on getting better at surfing, skating, whatever.
Yep.
People that play video games, they're focused on getting better at the game. They're focused on winning the game. That's the
It's not
happiness.
just winning though. It's the technique of how you won. So like I find with gaming, it's a lot of trial and error. So you try different things and things that work. You're like, oh, that's exciting. That
Yeah.
actually worked. I'm going to try that again.
Yeah.
Especially with games like chess, where you try different moves
Yeah.
and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, but you learn. So gaming is like you're constantly learning new moves, and I think skateboarding and surfing, you're always learning new moves too, new tricks, new
That's like me in
maneuvers.
the gym. Like I feel like I'm always like finding like a new machine or like a new like muscle or a new just like you can always get better in whatever you're working towards. Like
Yeah,
there's nothing you can just like stay like ground zero at. Unless it's like education. Like yeah, there's like a certain point where you can like learn. Like AI like basically knows everything, right?
let's talk about AI for a second because yes, AI is going to pass us intelligently. Obviously, it's gonna know more than we know, but the tools that are coming out right now, I saw something from the guy that Sam something that started ChatGPT. He was saying that basically 20 to 25-year-olds should be focused on AI tools, not, because like when I was growing up, everyone was telling me you gotta learn how to code. And that we've been telling that to generation after generation for the last 20 years. But now they're saying you don't need to learn how to code. AI can code for you. You need to learn how to use tools that
Code.
create
What's
code.
coding?
Like like computer language, basically programming, apps, programming different software and things like that. Um, so writing a lot of the code that's been written was done manually by hand, but now the AI tools are doing it for us. So
Hmm.
what I think we're going to be doing is managing AI
So why
agents.
does 20 to 25-year-olds use it
Well, why should they be learning AI tools right now?
and not us?
Because that's what they're going to probably be doing is managing AI agents instead of managing people. So a lot of the people that became managers would manage a group of 5 people and they would give them tasks to do. But now you're going to be giving tasks to an AI agent. And an agent isn't like ChatGPT where you just talk to the prompt and it spits it out. Agents actually have tasks they have to do and they do it 24/7 without a break.
Like a robot?
Kind of, but it's more of an agent that's designed to do something. So for
Like
instance,
would it be like a moving thing?
no, it doesn't. It can be in the future, but it will be eventually. But right now, agents are like, let's say I had a task I asked my AI agent to do. I said find, reserve a hotel for me in Hawaii, right?
Hmm.
And so it would
Where's this agent thing?
you create them. So you create these
Oh.
agents using AI, and it calls all the hotels in Hawaii and says and talks to the person. But if that hotel created an AI agent too, then the AI agent would be talking to another AI, and they'd be talking back
That's
and
gonna be
forth.
life like one of
That's exactly what's happened. They actually did this test where two agents talked to each other, and eventually um, they they realized they were both AI agents, and they just said it'd be faster if we just talked in a different language so we could go faster. And they came up and you started hearing all these beeps, and they called it gibberlink, and
what the fuck?
so they stopped talking and using voice and just started beep 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 beep, and they were able
That is so creepy. That's like the freaking robot in SpongeBob.
right?
Like Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Did you know about the AI thing that like solved the robot thing like through like there was like this I forget like it had a task or something, and the robot AI thing like and like went to go through this thing, and then it had to click like the I'm not a robot thing and
Hmm.
click the things, but then it like didn't work or something. Oh no, it didn't know which one. It couldn't read like if it was like yellow school bus or something. Okay, so then it went on and it took itself to a like a tutor website thing, and then it sent the pictures and was like, "Can you tell me like what this is?" And they were like, "Are you a robot?" Like, and they're like, "No, I'm not." So it lied to the person, and then it like went back, and then it like figured it out, and then like, isn't that crazy?
That is so crazy. Like it.
Like it literally like solved the I'm not a robot on its own.
Wow. Yeah, that's where we're at now. So we're gonna have to
I'm
figure.
scared.
Well, no, don't be scared.
Uh,
Embrace it.
yeah, no,
That's where we're
it's
going.
exciting.
It's exciting, and I think like you're 16, but what we have brothers, you have brothers and sisters that are going to be 20 here soon.
Yeah.
Lawrence turned 20. Nathan's 22. Scotty's 25. That's the age range where they should just be learning how to do AI tools right now.
Yeah, and I already but the thing is they're not.
But
I
they
am.
can.
I am. I know AI tools. Wait, right? Do I? I use ChatGPT like every single day. It's like my holy grail.
Well, that's one tool, but I
Mhm.
think that like other tools like Midjourney, where they're creating videos. Like, have you seen those?
What is
Like
it called?
Midjourney?
Is it an app?
Yeah, but also,
Mid.
it basically creates videos, AI videos. I'm surprised you haven't seen them on like your For You page.
I don't really watch TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I don't. There's no Mid Journey app. It's
Oh no, look on use Safari. Don't
girl.
use
You
it.
said it was an app.
Well,
There we go. Oh, whoa. Wait.
like it created all that stuff.
Oh my God.
What? All right. Well, that's probably good for now. I think if we can cut these to like a half hour, I think
Yeah,
that'd be good.
I'm done. Mom's bugging.
Okay.